I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war. Or, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing too.
I'll exchange with him and he'd shoot in. What's happened? Oh my God, McGregor's done already? Well, he's finished. The new boy is in town. The main man's here. Know what I mean? I can become the face of the organisation now. But, yeah, great. What a performance from me. Don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but what a performance.
Messi?
Oh, his leg. You heard his leg already?
Oh!
Heard his leg already?
Conor McGregor?
Did you just hurt his leg already?
Did Conor McGregor hurt his leg?
You don't move like you risky doing that stuff, bro.
He said he's going to play this.
Oh, shit, man.
Back to his 30 seconds. Flipping around a bit on the mat.
Something's...
Holloway's looking at the referee. Feels as though the referee is injured. Mike Beltran says keep working. So needed. Yeah, not good. Every time he rolls, like there's something wrong with his leg. And that's that leg.
Yeah, it's his bad leg.
Is that the same one? Is that it? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Both legs went, I swear.
I'd like to talk to him, unfortunately.
Hey guys, let's give it up for Conor McGregor, guys. What an absolute animal. When we were in here, he kept trying to say, I was trying to come on point, and he came out on the fight hard. Hey, but you guys are lucky, because there's going to be a Holloway versus McGregor 3 now. Let's get to the fucking money, boys!
I understand that you'd like to see him in the
Snaps his foot and he winces in pain. Fuck! I fucking hate my life! This is the one fucking escape I get, and it's shit! And McGregor's just limping around like my fucking man! Fuck!
In 2013, Conor McGregor tore his ACL in the second round of fight against Max Holloway. He kept fighting on a blown-out knee and still won the decision. 13 years later, the same two men stepped into the octagon again. An exact same injury ended the fight before it even got started. Every analyst, every ex-champion, every insider who broke down this fight got one thing wrong. They were all planning for a 5-round war. They never accounted for history repeating itself in 69 seconds. Before we get to how it actually ended, you need to understand what the experts were expecting, because the gap between prediction and the reality is an entire story. Michael Bisping built his case around the move to welterweight. On paper, it favored McGregor. Holloway had the height, but McGregor had the reach advantage in the frame to be the naturally bigger man in the cage. Bisping's read was simple. If McGregor won this fight, it wasn't going the distance. It was an explosive knockout in round 1, because that's the only version of Conor McGregor that still exists after a 5-year layoff. But Bisping's confidence came with a condition attached. Outside of that first-round finish, he didn't like McGregor's chances at all. He'd never been good in rounds 2 through 5, even in his prime, and Bisping didn't believe a soon-to-be 38-year-old was going to discover a new gear after half a decade away from competition. If Holloway survived the opening storm, Bisping was certain the fight would flip entirely in the champion's favor. More volume, more combinations, a slow and total breakdown of McGregor as the rounds piled up. That was the first crack in the prediction. Here's the second. Ariel Helwani and Joe Rogan's panel spent their airtime on the questions nobody could actually answer. How would Holloway's speed hold up carrying extra weight into welterweight? Rogan didn't think that part would be a problem. Holloway had always walked around heavy for a featherweight, and by fight week, he wasn't expected to struggle, making 170 at all. The real question mark was McGregor. The layoff, the injuries, the fame, the fortune. Was the fire still there, or had it been replaced by exactly the kind of complacency that got referenced on the broadcast as the silk pajamas problem? Rogan and his panel weren't convinced anyone actually knew the answer, McGregor included. Training footage only shows you what someone wants you to see. Whether he'd actually been putting in world-class work behind closed doors, or just enough to look good for the cameras, was a total unknown heading into fight night. And depending on which version showed up, Rogan floated that a first-round knockout of Holloway would be one of the biggest moments in the sport's history. Then there was the size conversation. Dustin Poirier, who's trained alongside Holloway, described him as bigger frame than people assume, not thick, but tall enough and built enough that the welterweight jump wouldn't be the burdensome expected. The panel's larger concern wasn't Holloway's size. It was whether dropping back down to featherweight after a run at lightweight, and now jumping back up again, was putting too much strain on his body across weight classes in a short window. Nobody on the panel thought that mattered much once fight night arrived. What they did agree on, whichever version of Holloway showed up would be comfortable, composed, and had a specific plan. That plan had a name, and it came from the analyst known online as MMA Guru, and in hindsight, it's the single most unsettling prediction of the entire lead-up. Guru's read was that Holloway had become a completely different fighter since his featherweight title reign. Sharper technique, better cardio, none of the cardio merchant reputation that used to follow him. His game plan, as Guru laid it out, was to stay composed early, let McGregor go through his full highlight reel taunts and theatrics, and target one specific area from the opening bell, McGregor's lead leg. Stomp it early. Stomp it often, and let the damage compound as the rounds went on. Guru's prediction was that this fight got dangerous for McGregor in the second and third rounds, once his chin stopped scaring Holloway into hesitation, and Holloway's jab started finding a home. He even predicted McGregor might resort to a guillotine attempt out of desperation in the clinch, a signature move. But one Guru believed Holloway would calmly escape. Read that back. The lead leg, attacked from the opening exchanges. In a fight everyone assumed would take rounds to develop. Tim Welch's prediction ran along the same lines, just with a different route to the same outcome. He pointed to Holloway's experience going full 5 rounds and his ability to outpoint opponents over time, acknowledging the grappling issues that cost him his last fight, but dismissing them as irrelevant here. McGregor wasn't walking through that door as a wrestler. Welch's forecast had McGregor competitive in the first 2 rounds, maybe even winning them, before Holloway's pressure and volume took over completely by round 3. His prediction, Holloway by decision, methodically, the exact way a 5-round veteran beats a fighter who hasn't competed in half a decade.
At welterweight, at 170 pounds. That immediately favours Conor McGregor. That's just a fact. Max Holloway, yes, he's taller, but he has a shorter reach. He's 5'11", Conor's 5'9". Conor's got a 74-inch reach, Max Holloway, 69-inch reach. Now, if Conor gets this job done, if he can win this fight, right, it's going to be an explosive knockout in round 1. And it favours Conor early because he is the heavier guy naturally. On the night, I'm going to guess he's going to be about 185 pounds. We saw what happened with Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. He was controlled and taken down by the bigger guy, right? And the better grappler, to be fair. Conor's not a grappler. Conor's not going to do that. Conor's going to come out and swing for the fences because that's what he's always done. And by the way, he's also going to have, in my opinion, some nervousness, a little bit of anxiety as he's still got it, right? I don't think the moment's going to get to him because Conor McGregor is a master of those big moments. It's just, but I'll be honest, outside of a first round knockout, which could happen, it's then going to go dramatically downhill for Conor McGregor because he's never been good in rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. He just hasn't, okay? He wasn't in his prime, and I don't think he will be at almost 38 years old with 5 years away from the octagon. If Max Holloway can survive that first round, then it all goes downhill. Max Holloway starts to take over. Max Holloway starts to land more and bigger and longer combinations with more meaningful shots. Starts getting a little bit fancy with it. Starts throwing in the spinning back kick to the stomach, to the face. Starts pointing down at the canvas because he sees Conor McGregor tired and he knows that the victory is within his sight. Okay? I predict Max Holloway will be the winner on Saturday night. I believe that Conor McGregor is going to go out there. The crowd is going to be ridiculous, okay? The anticipation for the fight is through the roof. The demand for Conor McGregor is still there. And Max Holloway, people love this guy.
And running underneath all of it was Chael Sonnen's bigger picture red. No matter who won, the sport would immediately be asking the same question. What's next? Sonnen laid out the case for a Paddy Pimblett fight regardless of outcome. A McGregor win sets it up. A McGregor loss sets it up just as easily. because the money and the interest don't care about the result. It was the kind of prediction built to be true no matter what happened in the cage. Every single one of these breakdowns was built around the same core assumption. This fight would last long enough for a game plan to matter. Bisping's fade theory needed multiple rounds. Guru's leg kick erosion needed multiple rounds. Welch's pressure and volume case needed multiple rounds. Nobody, not one voice in that entire pre-fight conversation, planned for the fight lasting barely over a minute, because that's exactly what happened. McGregor opened the fight throwing a jumping kick, the kind of low-percentage, high-fear strike that's been part of his arsenal for years. The moment he landed it, his knee gave out from underneath him. He went down, tried to get back up, went down a second time. Holloway, to his enormous credit, stopped mid-fight to ask the referee if he wanted to step in and end it right there. The fight continued anyway. McGregor got back to his feet. Holloway landed one more kick, and when McGregor took an uncertain step backward on the leg, the referee waved off the fight. Officially, Max Holloway defeats Conor McGregor by TKO at 109 of round 1, 13 years earlier. In their first meeting, McGregor tore his ACL and fought through 5 more rounds to win a decision anyway. This time, the exact same type of injury, and there was no 5 rounds left to fight through. History didn't just repeat itself. It repeated itself in the cruelest possible version. Holloway didn't celebrate like a man who'd just gotten revenge. In his post-fight interview, he called McGregor an animal, told the arena he'd try to wave the fight off out of respect, and then pivoted straight into the future. A trilogy fight between the two of them is now on the table, whether McGregor's body allows for it or not. So here's the part nobody in that pre-fight breakdown accounted for. Every prediction, Bisping's late fight fade, Guru's lead leg erosion, Welch's pressure over time model, assumed the 2 biggest variables were cardio and championship rounds. The one variable nobody weighted heavily enough was the one thing that had already happened to McGregor in this exact same matchup over a decade ago. Sometimes the most predictable outcome in a sport built on chaos isn't a new story at all. It's an old one showing up again when nobody's watching for it. Whether there's a trilogy fight in Conor McGregor's future is a different question entirely. And depending on what those knee scans come back showing, it might be the only prediction from this entire fight week that never gets tested at all.
I'm just curious how he looks. And then obviously there's like a gazillion stories with Conor, the layoff, the injuries, all the other shit that he's had to deal with, you know, the body. And then there's just like the silk pajamas thing, right? Like the Marvin Hagler line. Is he really truly motivated at this stage with all that success and fame and fortune and all that?
Gaethje, the biggest fight in the history of the known universe.
That would be sick.
They go for the BMF title at 170.
Right.
Conor's like, I don't want to cut any weight. That fight, well, in a vacuum. Like, there's some training footage of him beating guys up that you've seen, but who knows what he actually has been doing. We know he's been partying, but has he also been, like, really training? Because if he's been really training and he shocks everybody because he's still got his skills. Yeah. I mean, my God, if he somehow or another sparks out Max in, like, the first round, do you know how big he becomes?
He's right.
Yeah. When Max was fighting at 145 when he was a champion, he was walking around like 176. He's a big guy.
He's a bigger guy.
Well, good.
He's big.
I mean, I love Max, so it's hard for me to believe Conor's coming back.
I follow Max on YouTube. He's got a great channel, so recording all of his training and all the stuff he's doing. And, you know, you see him. He looks good, dude. He looks big.
Dustin Poirier thinks
going back to 45 after he did 55.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's too hard. I think it's just too hard on the body. And especially when he was a thick 55 when he fought Justin. He looked good, man. Yeah. He looked solid at that weight. I think him fighting at that weight, he could actually
be bigger.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he's taller, and he says he's kind of thin, but he's got a bigger frame. He thinks he's going to be bigger
tall.
than Conor.
Like, I mean, he came to my gym.
We're going to find out. We're really going to find out what's going on if it gets into the second and third rounds. That's when we're really going to find out.
We'll know.
We'll know immediately.
At that point.
But, I mean, whether or not he can really fight for 5 rounds. Like against a
don't
guy
know
with
if he can, man.
With a great gas tank.
Yeah.
After
5 years of...
At some point, Max is going to slow down. Prior to the Oliveira fight, he wasn't slowing down at any point. So there's a million questions there. How's he going to look at 170? You know, I think that's a really interesting thing that not enough people are talking about. Just with that extra weight, I don't think it will be a huge deal because probably when he's fighting at 55, he's getting... like. I suspect Max is going to weigh in at like 168. You know, like I don't think he's going to struggle